Next question is from Caleb Wheat. Can you go into the benefits of squatting barefoot? Is it better to go barefoot or just wear shoes like Converse?
You know, this reminds me of, I don't remember how many years ago it was. It might have been 10 years ago. That guy wrote that book on running, on barefoot running. Mm-hmm. He went, I don't remember the name of the author, but he went and studied, modern hunter-gatherers and tribes of people where they ran a lot. And he studied the mechanics of their running, and all of them ran barefoot. And what he noticed was...
Born to Run? Is that what it's called?
That might be it. Yeah, thank you. What he noticed was when people ran barefoot, or those people ran barefoot, they hit the ground with the forefoot first and then down on the heel. So like the foot and the ankle acted like a shock absorber. And so he wrote this book and said, running barefoot, superior to running with shoes on, because when you run with shoes, you hit with your heel first, and the shoe is trying to cover the impact. It's not nearly as good, and this and that. And that's why we have back problems, knee problems from running. Well, here's what ended up happening. Shit ton of people took their shoes off.
Got injured.
Everybody got injured.
Yep.
And that's because nobody had the strength, the mobility, the stability to do it, right? Yeah. So the reason why I'm saying this is squatting barefoot is the best if you can squat barefoot. Yeah. Most people can't. Most people, you take their shoes off and you have them go squat barefoot, they're going to get ankles are going to cave, their knees are going to do weird things, they're going to feel pain in their SI joint. So don't just jump into
you have to build up the strength, support, and stability to be able to pull that off. And that's going to take some time and definitely a lot of frequency and repetitions. And so, yeah, you don't want to just like all of a sudden take your shoes off because you read something like that it's superior. You have to work your way there, just like anything else, any kind of a new exercise that you're about to perform.
Now, do you guys remember seeing like what are the most limiting factors from keeping somebody from doing that? Like what's to stop somebody that says, okay, I've never trained barefoot, I'm going to start. Why shouldn't I, or why should I, or can I? Like, what are the prerequisites for somebody?
You have to have really good ankle mobility and good foot strength. Yeah. I mean, those are the two big things, right? Yeah. The reason why people typically don't do it is they're afraid of dropping a weight on their foot, though, to be honest.
That's at least of my concern.
Yeah, that's usually why. Gyms don't allow it, so nobody does it. But, you work out at home or in your garage, you can totally do it. Here's how I would start.
Like it would hurt any less if you had a shoe on dropping the weight.
No. Here's where I would start. I would start by doing upper body exercises barefoot and just connecting to the floor with your feet as you do your standing shoulder press or your curls.
So you're going in the direction where what I was alluding to and asking you is like I couldn't barefoot squat for a while. What I started doing was like barefoot walks. Like have you ever taken a walk for a half mile barefoot? Like not many people do. Not many people go walking for a half a mile or a mile barefoot. Start with that before you go load 100, 200 pounds on your back and ask your weak ass feet to be able to grip the floor, stay stable, and have good mobility and strength through that movement. Why don't you just start by doing these walks? And so I began first just with taking my shoes off all the time, walking out on the concrete, walking out on the grass and the dirt, just getting my feet conditioned. Then I started playing around and just body weight, doing things like tippy toe squats, working on my my combat stretch, which is my ankle mobility. And then as that started to progress and get better and better, then I started going, okay, and then by the way, I'm loading the squat. I'm putting like 135 pounds, which is very light for me, and I'm working on range of motion and depth, and then paying attention to I'm more than I'm worried about the weight on my back. That's why I'm choosing a weight like 135. That's very easy for me to move. I'm really thinking about my feet. I'm squatting down and I've already got the squat down well enough and I'm moving light enough weight that's pretty easy that I can put a lot of my energy and focus on how my feet are gripping the floor.
Well, whether or not you want to make this like a regular practice, I think it's important that people consider it because you having that kind of feedback and knowing where your pressure points are with your feet and where you're accessing your stability, I think is super valuable because then too, like it's things that you can start walking and noticing that, I'm going to start, raising my heel up. I'm not even walking like on my forefoot. I'm totally flat footed or, I'm pronating or all these things, this feedback that it just gets masked when you're wearing shoes all the time.
Yep. Good point.